health and wellness check-in. Today is 24 March 2024, so I'm Tanis Leonardi, she, her of Seattle, filming this in the northern suburbs of Seattle, King County, Washington State, United States of America, planet Earth, the original. It's Sunday, 24 March 2024, as of when I'm filming this. And this covers this past week, Monday 18 to today, Sunday, 24 March 2024. It was a quieter week with more of a paired consumption production focus. So it was a bit of a mental... interesting to have paired input and output, so to speak. I made all of my workouts and I finished losing the holiday weight I gained since September 2023. Woo! Doesn't mean I've lost all the weight I gained after the elliptical broke, but I have lost the holiday weight. So it's done. Before the end of March, I've lost the holiday weight, so I'm happy with that. Okay. Social, so first category, social. Fed the critters all of their meals this week. I had interactions while walking/running, and I celebrated the birthday of my Aunt Danette with family on Tuesday. Other outings with social interactions included Richmond Beach Library, a public library on Monday, Richmond Beach Library, a public library on Thursday, Boeing Employee Credit Union, BECU, a credit union on Thursday, and City of Shoreline City Hall, a city hall on Thursday. Second category, mental, even in well-paired week. So writing and photography on Yelp, I reached 11 written and published reviews for March 2024, which tied my all-time personal best for any one March of 11 reviews from 2023. So it's a tie. And I reached 34 written and published reviews for the 2024 year thus far. I reached 198 check-ins for the 2024 year per my tracking. Lucky Wallaby Courier, writing for Lucky Wallaby Courier, LWC, eating/food, wildlife, athletic performance contextualizations, movie notes, contextualizations of my performances, moving scenarios, and kind of focusing in on logistics, both from the past and / present and potential future, be it logistics I haven't gone through and highlighting that, or I have gone through, or locations and what might flourish and blossom in certain residential settings, like in a country level, I guess. Lifestyle. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pair that. Yeah, lifestyle. Okay, including a few of my adventures in 2011. Yes, I went to a center for wooden boats because wooden boats are a part of my family history, as with a lot of the people who made their way to the United States of America back in the 16, 17, and 1800s. Wooden ship was the main means of transportation. So there was the Lady Washington, which was the ship used in the Pirates of the Caribbean, like Curse of the Black Pearl. There's a ship called the Interceptor, and the ship was they used in the movie was the Lady Washington, and was docked at the Center for Wooden Boats in Seattle. And I was like, Dad, I want to see this ship, but like I didn't necessarily want to see everything else. And somehow there was like that I wanted to see it, and I don't know if he recommended it or something, but it jived, and my mom wasn't feeling well that day, so she didn't go, but it was just my dad and I, and it was like I was attending the University of Washington, and the school system started like late September, like the first term of the year, autumn quarter. So I was like, what am I gonna do? And then I also did some views from exploring the Olympic Mountains, which I've shown in views of in a number of videos. So there were a couple of vlogs. And then I also covered city/county/public facilities. It was it's a broad category I'm going to put in there. YouTube. Theme day of the week videos continued. I had at least one sweet and or savory video each day, filmed and published the same day. I focused on repetition this week. Yes. And like doing a bingo approach of like, it's cool to have eaten different serving sizes of things in its entirety, right? Because I can be like, the most satisfying serving size was 3 Ghirardelli squares and 3 dried mango squares, or 3 dried mango servings. So if those brands are watching me now, Tanis Leonardi, you have my perspective of, I actually think like satisfying serving size is different than what's on the package. But I don't think it, serving size is like, it's up to the company how they do that. So, but I was just like, the 10 is satisfying for both of those, the Paradise Green dried mango and the Ghirardelli dark chocolate caramel squares. 3 servings of the dried mango and 3 squares were the I like this. But I hadn't been like, let me eat these separately each day as like a controlled experiment to see which one is actually the most satisfying. And now I know. So there we go. Yeah. YouTube ideation and there, yeah, okay. In YouTube and ideation, including typifying, dislikers. Yeah, that continued. I thought of one more. There's like the distractor, and I'm not going to put this in the typifying dislikers. And I was thinking of, there's one that's similar to that, but like that I can describe but not think of a name of, and I'm not going to include the description nor the name of, or like I have a name, but I'm like, I don't know if it fits, so I'm going to like think about it a few more days and be like, have I settled on this as a name? So I'm not going to include it here, so I don't need to include it in that playlist. Trimming down my playlist, man. Oh, YouTube ideation. I had I guess this is an off-channel part. I have one of my videos that like keeps getting deleted from all the playlists I put it in, which is kind of a hassle when I have 400 videos in a playlist. So when it gets deleted, like I'll be working on it and YouTube will clear it completely. Or it was in 11 and now it's in 3 kind of thing. And I'll be like, it takes it out of order in my playlist. And so I'm just kind of like, you know what I'm going to do this time? Because it was the same video happened. It was the eating dulce de gelato from 2022, that video. And it happened before and I fixed it then. And like this time I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to fix it in the off-channel documentation. So there's ideation. Off-channel documentation is different. I'm addressing it a different way. I did multiple movie notes videos. So movie notes videos, plural here. My Mahoo and my wedding scenario / future life planning. That kind of goes, yeah, there, yeah. Curation, including playlists covering befriending people, including myself. The best employers are the ones that say, remind a person not to forget about themselves and making time for themselves and prioritizing their own health and well-being. So I'm taking that approach that I've appreciated from supervisors in the past and been like, don't forget about me. New approach for stupid comments. Yeah, so I still have comments turned on a fair share of my videos. So stupid comments or something that points out something that wasn't in the video, like saying something's gold when I said golden. I'm just going to downvote, especially if the comment has not a single like. Right, then somebody can come along and like it, but they're not the first to engage with it. It's already been downvoted. So the first engagement is a downvote. And so I was like, maybe that'll work with the stupid stuff. Instead of just deleting it all, I just downvoted it. Yeah. Trying something different. Welcome back! Vlogs, slideshows, slideshow with text transitions and overlays of adventures in 2011. I've previously described those. Heritage travel trip series. Yes, so curation, but then also thinking through what I need to do, if anything. And touching a little bit on the ideation of, all right, if my ancestors come from a place, I can think of it as one self-form of confirmation of being from the lands of an area or a region is finding a home, not with the modern stuff, right, but the old stuff. And maybe the modern stuff as well, but because there can be so much stuff that's not original peoples in origins, putting an emphasis on what still exists when my ancestral origins were there, or my ancestors were there, right? Kind of thing. And yes, oh, including Mayflower Society stuff I've received. So this one I've already said. I checked my email this morning, being like, oh my gosh, did any of my stuff from my new befriending people playlist, did anything get deleted? And I checked my email and I didn't get anything and was like, oh, that's a relief. And then I got something being like, oh, as you probably are aware, you're no longer a part of the Mayflower Society. And I was like, I was completely unaware. I had heard absolutely nothing about this. Which the Mayflower Society, the reputation I've encountered throughout my life, both from people who have not graduated from high school, and some have graduated from high school, and those with college degrees. It's a bit of a hoax. And so kind of the stuff that was brought up, and I've experienced the feedback all along the way. It's like if you know you're a descendant of the Mayflower Society, you're doing just fine. And like, be concerned with people, you know, publishing through a Mayflower Society thing just to get their name out there and be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is not the son of someone. And that was actually like examples brought up from multiple different communities, right? That's, you know, if you want to make a name for yourself, just be a woman on a paper and say this somebody's not somebody's son. And guess what happened? But it was like, well, it's kind of a funny thing because it's what Society of Mayflower Descendants. I'm not a descendant of a fucking boat. My ancestor, Matthew Fuller, came over on a wooden ship, not a boat, and it was bigger, better, and faster than the Mayflower. And that was, I knew that before I even submitted it, right? He wasn't a passenger of the Mayflower itself. He came over a few years earlier solo and then went back to the United States of America, or not, he went back to Great Britain and then came back again after the Mayflower. And just a reminder, the Mayflower was not the first ship to land in America. It was not the first settlement. That's kind of stuff. Settlements were the 1500s. So Mayflower is pretty late in that sense. What it's notable for in some people's lives is that it started a trend. Like essentially it was the boat that all of a sudden a bunch of boats were there. So they're like, you know what? Because it was close to the other boats, it had to have been the one that started this trend. I was like, okay. Is Matthew Fuller, per my understanding, descended from Edward Fuller? Yes. However, that might not be Edward Fuller of the Mayflower, and it might not be his dad, right? Kind of thing. So Edward Fuller, yes, it was a very common name. And his ancestral origins include Matthew Fuller, not Edward Fuller of the Mayflower, Native American in Russian royalty. And so just a reminder with DNA stuff, it's only accurate, its highest accuracy is 5 to 6 generations ago, and then there's a decay. And so the Mayflowers, like per my generation, is like 15, 16 generations ago, right? So DNA is not really an appropriate means for reliable information, much less considering the politicization of DNA, right? And more DNA, like from different people, supposedly makes it more accurate, and the particular DNA cited does not include Russians or originals peoples. And I was like, well, perhaps you should start including everybody if you want your results to be right. But some people just don't think about the science. Some women are just the type that spread their legs for anybody, kind of thing. Right, so that might not even have been their DNA that they tested. So there we go. Still English. Still got English bloodlines. Other than that, Edward Fuller. Right? There were a bunch of Edward Fullers. Kind of thing. So yeah, I'm on the hunt for that Russian royalty. So if you're like me and you're part of my family, so not the Edward Fuller. That's not via Matthew Fuller. That's not actually right. Just the Matthew Fuller and down, right? You're my family, not the other leg spreader types. Leg spreader for anybody types. There we go. And thank you for being part of my family. Let's hunt for that Russian royalty we're descended from, the ancient Red Russian. Ancestral origins, by the way. Which one of us is going to be the new Tsar? Okay. Finances. Sweet and or savory eats videos, 7 videos, 8 products. So again, if it's one product across multiple videos, it counts each time it's in a video as a product. Physical. Diet / food and exercise. Finished losing the holiday weight again since September 2023. Made all my running. So running made all my workouts 3 out of 3 days. Rowing made my workouts 6 out of 6 days. Strength training made my workouts 6 out of 6 days. Cleaning house / yard work made all my workouts 2 days. Stationary bicycle made my workouts 3 out of 3 days. In conclusion, Heritage Travel Trip Series. I should probably put this in there. And I've been thinking, I was like, I should flesh out everything it could be per all of my understanding and like inklings, and see if I can get that done in the next week or something. It's like essentially the 8 on my list plus Austria, Wales, Russia, Sweden, Czech Republic, Croatia, and something I'm forgetting that I've brought up on this channel before, and now I feel really bad about forgetting. Like, yeah. Whew, our brain farted. I should have put it down. Oh well. Oh, Hungary. The Hungarians are going, have we made ourselves clear enough? We have your documentation. And I'm going, but I need the self-confirmation, man. Okay. Like, give me a little bit. I gotta be able to remember this stuff, you know. So happy health and wellness check-in 24 March 2024 from me, Tanis.